Hello, welcome to the Poppycock podcast.
Shut up, it's my podcast.
Where the topics don't matter, and we're not experts.
My
Today
podcast.
I'm joined by
My podcast.
Orlando
This is my
I'm
world.
Frames.
It's my
I'm
world.
Frames Jacob.
This is my world.
And also
This is my
we have
movie
with
world.
us Woos
Get out of my
Brillis.
movie world. This is
Wham.
my world.
This is part 2 of an insane man forcing us to listen
Season
to his
3
his version
starts now.
his version of Nightwing TV show.
Season 3.
Because,
Can't wait.
because the new
Schedule your DVR.
because Gotham Knights
Get
looks,
DVR.
because Gotham Knights looks like it's taking a lot of ideas that he cooked up over a year ago, so he's getting them all out as evidence
DVR.
so that people know that he
My
thought
world.
this up. Okay, Gopher Trace, tell us what you have.
Orlando
Sorry, Orlando tell us what season 3 of your show. Also, what medication are you not taking that we should give you?
All of them. Anywho, season 3.
At rapid fire pace. Last time on the show, we discovered that Damian Wayne should have been dating Raven, not Beast Boy. Continue.
I mean, at the very least, Beast Boy should probably be black, because the whole thing is that he gets
I thought
his
he was
power-
Asian.
His name's Garfield. He's pretty white.
Garfield's a cat name. What do you think, Killy Lawlins?
Rachel.
I don't know.
What color do you think Beast Boy would be if he wasn't green? Know that your racial bias will be seen by all.
Well,
Well,
red.
I was gonna say blue.
No!
Like,
I
what
didn't-
race do you think he
Yeah,
was?
what if he wasn't Beast Boy? What color do you think
The whole
he
thing
would
is he got his
naturally
powers
be?
in Africa.
Based on the
Different
Justice-
people live in Africa.
based,
like drafts.
Okay, based on the Justice League TV show where they focus on the sidekicks, he was white and he was an African safari, like daughter. Like
For a while, he was
skin.
red, not green.
Yeah, he was the son of people who were exploring genomes in Africa. He got bitten by a thing. The only thing that was immune to it was the
No.
green ape. So they made a serum that turned him into the green ape for a little bit, and then they turned him back. Unfortunately, he could now turn to animals whenever he wanted, and he was
First of
permanently
all, are we
green.
going to just pretend like there's such a thing as a green ape?
It was early. There's actually a quote by Beast Boy I need to pull up that's I
That's,
love.
hey, my origin story is
It's-
stupid, just accept it.
It's from that era of crappy origin stories, but it is probably the best aged line DC has ever made.
Hey, I'm not Spider-Man. Get over it.
No.
Beast Boy, 1970.
And if I didn't keep telling jokes all the time, I think my head would blow up from the depression.
Anyway, so season 3,
A tale of two
Trigon.
cats.
Damian Wayne should have been dating Raven.
So season 2 ends.
yes, that's how seasons do.
Straight like they're all back at Titan Tower. It's like, hey, why did we ever lose touch? This is like great, we're all back together. And then they get like
Question.
Dick Grayson gets
If I may.
Rorschach.
Once they're all regrouped at Titan Tower, do they order pizza?
Does Cyborg say booyah?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, come on, we're trying to stay faithful. Okay, season 2 ends with them realizing Batman's dead.
Okay, that's a bad thing.
Just gotta try and build up like, oh, they're having a good moment, and it's sullied by the fact this trauma. Then the Bat family has to get back together, and they realize Batman's dead. They don't know that Bruce Wayne's dead, but they do have the body of Bruce Wayne. Like, they take the Batman's body, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is definitely Bruce Wayne. He's not faking it. They're like, we could put him in Lazarus Pit. And Jason Todd's all like, no, don't do that. And basically, Ra's al Ghul's like, put him in the Lazarus Pit, please. And they're like, that's a bad sign. We won't do that. Then, Tim Drake's like, the first time they really get to, Dick Grayson really gets to talk with Tim Drake. Never really knew him that much. He was long gone by the time that he was taken up as Robin. And they're like, okay, well, what was he investigating before he dies? We need to figure out who freaking killed him. Because all they know is that Bruce Wayne was like, essentially like defusing a bomb, and he managed to reduce the blast radius to the point where only he was killed. They find out he was in Tarascon, France. It's an actual city.
Okay, well, France can't win their wars, so I don't learn their streets.
It's a city, not a street.
Same difference. They all eat frogs.
Whatever. And also, you realize that historically speaking, the France giving up was actually like helping the war because they were allowing the Allies to get away.
The war was losing until America showed up. That's the way I remember it. I was there. Keep going.
England and America united.
No, we pretty much did all the work. I was there.
Better question, what was Mexico doing under that? In Canada,
Yeah, for real.
What were you doing? Freeing metal care, putting milk in bags?
Where was the Mexican army when we needed them?
Anyway,
Where was the frickin' Spanish Inquisition?
Well, we all suspected them, so they couldn't appear.
That's true. I guess it was really a catch-22.
They just had one Nazi every day. It was like, do you suspect them? I do! They shall be here! I'm like, well, we're safe for today.
It's a Sophie's choice. That's what they would say during World War II.
Anyway,
Uh,
Batman's dead.
Yeah.
The blast radius
They have-
reduced.
Dick Grayson starts investigating like his path from Gotham to France. Tim Drake goes to France investigating his path from France to the place where he actually died.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Todd takes the Batmobile and he's like, I'm gonna
go pick up some chicks.
I'm gonna keep order in Gotham.
Oh.
He's
Same
like,
difference.
so he essentially starts acting like, yeah, now Batman's gone, crime's moving over, and I'm taking over. But in reality, he's like, hey, I'm with the Bat family, whatever.
So, but does he kill?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Is he hot?
absolutely.
Okay.
Dude, this is a Nightwing show.
All right, I forgot.
We have to
it's like
appeal
the
to the
CW
fan
level
base.
of hot, but with good writing.
We're going gratuitous. We're getting animators, dude.
Oh, right.
We're
right.
sexualizing.
Every flip Dick Grayson does, he has to land in a low squat towards the camera.
Dude, are you kidding? You realize how long Doctor Who and frickin' Steven Universe have been going because Tumblr has been latched to it like a parasite? Keep them going. You can keep the show going as long as you need.
But what if your show becomes bad and it won't die?
That's when you cauterize the wound. You say, boy, well, at least we're not gay. Ha ha ha. Camera pans out, fade to black.
And then the show's canceled.
Yeah.
Just one racial slur at the end of a season and your show's gone.
Just turn
It's
the
a
main
cyanide
character.
pill for TV.
You take the main character, turn him into a Nazi pedophile, and there you go. You're good.
He's a 9/11 Hitler.
Two things you can never agree with: a Nazi and a pedophile.
Some people could, but we don't like them. Who's Damian Wayne?
Damian Wayne hasn't shown up yet.
Okay. That's all I had to know. Continue.
He has been born. He exists. He's being trained by the court. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, continue. Insane version of
They
J.J.
start
Abrams.
they start covering. They realize that it's the like
Oh,
in
what if Damien killed him?
in season 2 they have to deal with the Order of Saint Dumas Azrael,
Mhm.
and this they're discovering like it's looking like the Order of Saint Dumas is actually getting bigger than we thought. It's still like 8 people because they start investigating the history of it, and I actually did some real history knowledge on this as to what the Order of Saint Dumas could have been.
Okay.
So
Knights
during the Crusades,
Knights Templar, see, told you. I didn't do research, I just knew.
Knights
'Cause they
Templar.
have
That's where I
swords.
started. That during the Templars' reign.
You can't tell, but he has a Charlie Day level of insanity in his eyes.
During the Knights Templar, it was Christians versus Muslims.
Yeah,
And
I was there.
historically speaking, historians have proven that they were not very well organized.
No.
Many of the Knights Templar, even when they showed up to actually start fighting, many of their horses had died and they were riding on camels and donkeys.
That would be hilarious, but also very
It was
depressing.
hysterical.
That's what the historical things say. It was hysterical.
And the
The genocide.
The Muslim armies, although strong, they were splintered because there was a whole bunch of group of people who had finally united just for one fight, and even though it was a kind of alliance. So, but then, here's where we go into fiction. Someone showed up calling himself Saint Dumas, and he started going in and he started uniting Muslims and Christians under a common banner of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, and no one knows what he was preaching, but they started murdering a lot of people.
And that guy, Albert Einstein. And everyone clapped.
Then, even more history,
A little
they
Tumblr joke.
start making their way from France down to England, where they encounter
Alfred.
where
I'm
they
joking. Please, God, no.
where they encounter King Arthur,
Okay.
who historically was not during Arthurian times. He was during the Dark Ages.
That's confusing, but continue.
Yeah. They start fighting, and Saint Thomas manages to get like either brutally beaten until he retreats or killed, depending on who you ask, because the Arthurian legend is filled with mystery. Because he was a historical
Yeah.
person, but there's a lot of misinformation. There's a huge
Yeah.
documentary on it, and I love
Dragons were real. Merlin wasn't. Got it.
it. So they start investigating the remnants of that, and they realize that Saint Thomas specialized in getting people to do things like brainwashing them.
Okay.
And it seems like the Order has kept that as they've kept on going underground. And they've suffered 2 main defeats. One was by King Arthur, and one was by Ra's al Ghul when they started fighting.
But they're the same person. I'm joking.
They start
Please no.
uncovering, they find out that the reason King Arthur was like such a good warrior, he was just a normal guy, but he had killed a group of the League of Shadows and taken over a Lazarus pit.
Ah.
So that's what the Holy Grail was, the fact that he was able to come back. He thought it was like a thing from God. But after he started realizing it was becoming more brutal, he used it less and less, and he actually used it for good, and then afterwards he sealed it off away from people. Saint Dumas found that, and they started resurrecting people, and that's how they started getting Azrael starting to get pumped out.
Oh, okay.
And so Ra's al Ghul doesn't entirely like them, So they're kind of had a secret passive-aggressive war as that's been going on.
Is Vandal Savage ever involved in this? Because I've always liked the idea of Rachel
I
and
could
Vandal
not.
Savage.
I
hating
could
each
not
other.
fit him in, though.
I
I
will.
would have
Also
a thing
joke.
that's like the skull of Vandal Savage set up on a thing. It's like he's still a pain. Like that's one of his skulls that he grew back.
Oh, I thought like his head was just in the jar. Like, Raish, you fool! Those pants look awful on
Like
you.
he's just mumbling words. Like he doesn't have lungs. He can't talk. Why do people never address that whenever it's a disembodied head?
Because it's a cartoon with aliens and secret societies.
Whatever. They start uncovering Saint Dumas. They go to like find out where he is. They start going like, okay, we're gonna take him down. And when they find out what he is. He's a new god.
Oh.
There was a brief time between when the Greek gods were dying and when the new gods showed up. He was like the first new god, and he left very early on.
So he's the oldest new god, not the
Yes.
newest old god.
Yeah, he's an in-between god.
Intermediary.
He's lowercase god. Just chill.
Either that, or you could have it be where he's one of the sons of Zeus that went insane because he was the last born.
Whatever. It all works.
Yeah, it don't matter. The thing is, they have to kill him,
Oh.
and when they finally manage to put down a new god, and they find out that a lot of his like spears or something, like the Azrael weapon of like fire sword and stuff, that's based off like new god tech that he had taken. And so they managed to put him down. Then I have a season where Arkham Knight shows up, and it's not like he starts by beating the crap out of Red Hood. Like, I'm getting rid of all criminals.
No one beats up Jason Todd.
That's just
not
our
realistic.
thing. Like, Jason Todd stumbles in, like, bloodied and beaten. And that's our way of saying, like, hey, it's not Jason Todd, dingus.
Well, maybe he should. Maybe he got like something broken, but he's not beat up too bad because he's still the cutest boy, right? He's still best boy.
Yes, he has best boy.
Okay.
He has best upper body. Lower body, that's entirely Dick Grayson. He's a flexible...
Look, we're not discussing the bat pole.
Look, Batman chose it right first. He got a nice little flexible boy named
Uh,
Dick to share a bed with him.
Okay, well, let's just move past that.
All right.
Maybe people won't be so bad when Bruce Wayne died. He shared a bed with a kid. Maybe it's for the best.
Season 4, I have very little on it. It's just Arkham Knight. Stephanie Brown, the second Batgirl, is like working with Arkham Knight, and then once Arkham Knight gets taken down, it's like I kind of.
Do you know who Arkham Knight is?
Yes.
He's Vandal Savage. Knew it.
No.
He's an old god. No, I don't know what you're gonna say. Are you gonna say?
I've debated with a few different things. One, he is essentially made by Cadmus. He was part of like a weird hodgepodge of designs because there's a thing called Dave in the Batman. It was an AI in Gotham, like
Oh,
Arkham
I
Asylum.
thought you meant the Eddie Murphy movie where he was a bunch of small aliens
No.
inside an Eddie Murphy robot.
Dear mercy, I have limited time. Come on. It was an AI that was meant. It could replicate the minds of any criminal, and essentially it was meant to be able to do that, so it could find the best way to treat them.
Ah.
So the idea that maybe it was Dave who was like, "Hey, best way to treat them is to like get all of them
my
to work
gosh.
together and take them to their next extreme, to where they're like, okay, I don't think I actually want to be a criminal anymore."
I know why it's called Dave. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That, and it was like defense
Well,
actuated.
yeah, it's like S.H.I.E.L.D. They thought of the name and then came up with what it meant.
Oh, dude, Gotham, DC did something similar. It was like the group called like DC's Strike, and it's an acronym. It's stupid. Marvel is the only one who gets to do the dumb acronym thing. Okay,
They do it a lot.
DC gets to do the
Sword,
Greek myth
shield,
thing.
Strike. I'm surprised Hydra doesn't stand for something.
Probably does like
Ugh,
frickin'
Hydra doesn't stand for anything.
for
Sorry, Captain America. Except for false values and communism and
I just-
unconventional families.
Point is, they get that whole thing going, and then mid-season finale, or like season finale of that,
Mm-hmm.
Dick Grayson dies.
Whoa.
He just dies straight up. You see the body, and you get like a funeral scene that's all sad, and then you get to see the dead man world. It's like where he's in like heaven, and it's like Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's like, hey, it's fine being dead. You know, sometimes you have to know when to. Like I was always saying, I would fight till my last breath. It happened, and now I get to hang out with my parents. You know,
And they still love me.
like I'm emotionally fixed now that I'm not leaving. It's like there has to be a way out, and there is, but he has to like investigate to find out the back door out.
It's like Magnum P.I. That season
But-
was supposed to be the last, but then wasn't.
Yeah. Then he leaves.
Does he come back with a mustache like Magnum P.I.?
Hold on.
Oh, I like that you got excited.
Dude, you're gonna get half-mast this, okay? He goes out and he reaches limbo or whatever it would be, and that's where Spectre is going around, and he's stomping around at the size of a skyscraper, 'cause that's how he likes to be for some reason. They start investigating, And like, okay, there has to be a way out. And he starts like seeing there's a group of freedom fighters who like they've escaped their plane of hell or heaven. Here's the thing: you can never go back after you do that. So a lot of them are like I made a mistake. There's a group of them who are trying to survive because once you get hit by a specter, you're just erased. And so there's a group of them being led by Jason Todd.
Jason Todd is dead?
His soul is still there.
Okay.
The Lazarus Pit doesn't bring back your soul.
Oh.
So you have a upbeat Jason Todd.
So, like, Happy Boy Robin?
Yeah, who's like...
Is he still, like, a kid, or is he an adult? Like,
He's
do you
a-
stay the same age when you
He's
die?
a man-child. He grew up... Like, that's it. He was kind of an adult when he got... He was a
That's
young
true,
adult.
like a teenager-ish.
Yeah, he was a young
But
adult.
he was just like, oh, gee golly.
Essentially, your soul takes the form of however you see yourself, which is why sometimes Dead Man sees himself as, like, in his circus uniform.
Yeah.
So your form kind of
Okay.
changes depending on how you see yourself.
Interesting.
And whatever his name is...
Which one?
Bruce.
Woos Brillis.
Bruce Wayne...
Wham Sitworth.
He gave me the idea that they changed views, like they changed depending on how they look.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, like, oh, there is a way, because Trigon, he's here, he's been trying to escape, and he's been digging away into one of his Lazarus pits. Theoretically, we could try and dig our way out through there. And, like, and so Spectre and, like, Trigon have been, like, fighting each other for, like, a long time.
Like a spectral kaiju battle.
Yeah. And they find out, like, okay, we need to find something that could distract or defeat the Spectre. Which, for those who don't know, he is the literal spirit of vengeance of
Yeah.
God. Like
Yeah.
Abrahamic God.
Yeah. Because we've established Jesus as a DC Comics character.
Yeah, which is weird. But
He doesn't sell very many comics, though.
yeah,
66 books, though.
that's how many books there are in the Bible.
What, you think our fan base is Mormon? It might be.
Anywho, he finds the thing that, let me see if I can find, it's a sapphire gemstone that is, canonically, the arch nemesis of the Spectre.
A stone is the enemy of God.
She
Her,
is.
She.
Her name is Eclipso. She is the spirit God's wrath. After the Old Testament, he got rid of that and replaced it with vengeance. She doesn't like that. And whoever wields that becomes, what was it? It was, Mr. Impossible.
Tom Cruise, got it.
No. He is the arch nemesis to Mr. Miracle. He's assumed to be a new god, but no one knows where he came from.
Interesting. DC Comics are weird.
And he looks like a frickin'...
Is he hot? Again, we've established he will be in your version. Oh, yeah, no.
He looks like Nightwing in like a weird armor.
He's hot.
So,
He's like Blue Beetle, Doctor Strange, and
so
Nightwing had a
Nightwing
kid.
has to take on that and take on Spectre. So you get actually two fights happening at once, which is Spectre and Eclipso fighting along with Mr. Impossible and Dr. Fate.
Is there anything... so that whole season takes place in the afterlife, not in the...
No, because
Is it split between
Tim
the
Drake
two?
is essentially trying to prove, like, okay, there's no way, like, there has to be something else going on. Like, he starts finding, like, there has to be a way I can bring him back. There has to be, like, a clone or something or another dimension because no one has ever stayed dead for that long. Superman gets to come back a million times, but Batman doesn't. And it's like essentially the tipping point where you get to see, like, he's at the grave crying, like, you come back right now, Batman. Like,
Forget Dick Grayson. We weren't that close, but fake daddy come back.
he essentially, like, I can't lose anyone else.
That's sad. Now you've made me sad.
Yeah, see, and
Tim
season
Drake
would
is a
just
good
fade
boy.
to black that no, like, end music. It's just, like, credits silently, make you feel sad.
That's messed up. Continue.
But they end up like, okay, so there's like the portal will decay for like a limited time. Like whenever Trigon gets hit and like dissipates for a little bit, there's a burst of energy and it's open for like an instant.
Mm-hmm.
And like thing is, Trigon's probably gonna just be erased. His power's waning,
Yeah.
so like only one person gets to come back. And us as the audience, like Dick Grayson, he's the main character. Meanwhile, Tim Drake's having to deal with the fact that there's another Nightwing showing up, who is Christopher Kent.
The son of Zod?
Yeah. Here's the thing. He's going around... How I have it is, he is a Kryptonian, but he calls himself Nightwing and doesn't use his powers. He's like... He knows that if everyone knows he's Kryptonian, they'll use kryptonite to kill him.
Good
So
point.
he's like, I'm just going to take down the low-quality villains, get where people love me, and people will worship me as a hero when I'm basically doing nothing.
That's true. It would be very
And
easy for Kryptonian
Tim
to
Drake
find
is the
that.
one who, like, is able to, like, you don't get to wear that outfit. Like, you didn't know Bruce.
It
You
would
didn't
be.
know...
It would be a nice twist if he was sort of the version of Superboy there, because Superboy and Tim Drake were friends, like before the multiverse got shattered by
Yeah.
Superboy Prime.
And he's also the one who wears red Nightwing.
No, I can dig that.
Yeah, I did a sketch of what I wanted him to look like, and you can describe him to the best of your ability.
I would say it's sort of a mixture of when Cyclops powered the Phoenix Force into him, and he's got like a solid snake beard and mullet going
See, I
on.
was thinking of
Yeah.
Superman X.
Yep, little Superman
Also,
X.
the logo is his Zod symbol that he cut with his heat vision to be a
Oh.
Nightwing symbol.
Interesting. I dig that.
Yeah, I wanted to have some fun with it. But yeah, Christopher Kent. In this version,
Also,
he's not really...
wasn't there a Nightwing on Kandor, which is a Kryptonian legend?
Possibly. But my whole thing is, he's supposed to be raised by Superman and Lois. I have it instead where he was a Kryptonian... Because the whole thing is he was born in the Phantom Zone. And his father kind of abandoned him the moment he got to leave.
Like Feora was his mom?
Yeah, I believe so. But he was like, hey, like, I like the idea when he escaped, he actually got raised in England, so he has a British accent. Because we don't really get a whole lot of cool British characters. Even Tiger is getting Americaned in the new movie.
We had, you mean...
Constantine.
Paul.
We had Constantine and no one else. And
She
Gentleman
loves
Ghost. I literally looked up all the British characters. There's that knight character who has a winged horse.
Actually, Constantine's accent is Welsh because the actor is Welsh. So it's technically a Wales accent.
and
That's
now,
why he talks so slow.
and now a firework for every ounce I care. Thank you.
Crackle, crackle, crackle in the sky.
That's what they
still, like,
No,
when
he's exactly how the same. He's like a bit younger than.
Well, I mean Jason Todd.
Jason Todd's he's a bit younger than he should have been. He essentially stopped aging.
So wait, does that mean we can have Jason Todd and Jason Todd as a dynamic duo?
That's what we're hinting at.
This is
And we also, for those of you who know who Deathwing is, which is none of you, it's essentially a corrupted Titan member who is unnamed, who was brainwashed to make him think he was Nightwing. What we're gonna do with that is that his original body was reanimated by Cadmus,
Ah.
or like was thrown in the last pit, and it's like a corrupted.
That is
Essentially,
a better twist.
yeah, his original body is kept back, and then you get them come back, and then after that, that's pretty much all I planned. But obviously, we do Battle of Bloodhaven at some point, which is where Bloodhaven straight up just becomes a crater, like apocalyptic crater. They drop Chemo, who is a giant nuclear robot. You just drop it right on Bloodhaven, and like criminals take it over as a wasteland.
So
and
Mad Max.
Essentially, the Bat family has to try and regain. It's like Arkham Knight if the Scarecrow gas had released at the beginning of the game.
Interesting. Well, I think that's all the time we have for this episode. This has been Borlando Ooms.
Daniel Joplin. I put work into this. My name's going on it.
This has been his pitch for this. So again, anything that comes out comic or game wise that shares stuff with this, he did it first. You owe him money. That's not how it works.
One last thing. Saint Motel's A Good Song Never Dies or whatever. That would be like the theme song that I have.
What is it?
A Good Song Never Dies by Saint Motel.
Okay. I couldn't tell which was the band and which was the name of the song.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What do you think of that, Woos Brain?
I mean, he's been pitching this to me for a while, so
I haven't heard it because I live with a woman.
And on that note,
I
we're
live
done.
with 2 women.
Ooh.
If you don't count Dee Dee.
I do. I count every single. All right, thanks for listening. If you want more updates on his waning insanity, keep up to date with us. Bye. I don't know how to end these things.
Oh, I do.
just hang up. Oh my
You
God.
deserve better.